Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. So before we get started, don't forget to comment on this and every other video that we've had this month for your chance to win one of those tumble bikes. This will be the last video of the month to comment on, so if you haven't commented yet, get commenting. Okay, so first up we've got a post from Zan Gregoire, I think, and it says CitizenCon ticket fix. So basically there's talk of tickets being available before the page was up and ready to go, which meant that all the tickets sold out immediately. But worse than that is the way they're doing the tickets in such small numbers. And with a ticket system whereby, you know, the page goes up and live as soon as the tickets are ready, it means that everyone's basically just spamming F5 and, you know, desperately trying to obtain their tickets, which didn't work for everyone. And it's just a crap way of doing it. You know, I've had this before with festivals where you're trying to, you know, get tickets and you're just sitting there like all day spamming, just going, oh, please let me get a ticket. And never getting them. So I tell you, if this happens for this CitizenCon, if I can't get a ticket, I'm going to go there and I'm going to break in some sort of like a Solid Snake style fashion. Are you with me?
Yeah, there's going to be some spicy words going around if we can't get tickets for this.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting there waiting on the dot, and by the time my page had refreshed, they'd sold out. And this is just the subscriber ones. You know, there is another chance. Well, we hope there's going to be more chances. The problem is that we don't know how many tickets are in total available, and like you say, sort of chopping them up into 125 tickets every day, or like every sales session, let's say, is a little bit frustrating. I'm sure there must be a better way of doing this.
Yeah, it's an absolute daft way of doing it. You know, just having such a small number of tickets, they're going to sell out immediately. And all they're doing really is they're creating multiple chances for people to be really angry at them. It's weird. And you know, like some people, they haven't got the maybe the time or the skills. Because it does actually require a little bit of skill to obtain tickets in this manner. You know, you've got to be right on the ball, you know, to be able to get them. And it's just creating unnecessary problems. I mean, the poster did say, you know, it might be a good idea to have the web page up, ready to go, with a countdown timer that kind of ticks down. So you can pretty much just sit there and be ready on your buy button, you know, and then the minute it counts down, goes live, click a button, hope for the best. And I think they've got that now, haven't they? I mean, the actual page is there. There's nothing to add to a basket. Is that right?
Yeah, the page is up now. It shows like a current stock of 0, and if you try and press the button, it just says no.
Yeah.
But everyone's just basically going to be sitting on that page and hitting the F5 as soon as the time comes around. We don't really know if there's a reason why they're doing it like this. Someone sort of mentioned that there was a few tickets that went unsold last year, I think it was.
Right.
But the difference there is that where was it? Austin? It was Austin, I think.
Austin, yeah.
The venue there was a lot bigger than the one in Manchester, I believe. So that could kind of account for tickets that didn't get sold. You know, we're not even sure about how many, like I said, we're not sure about how many tickets they're actually giving out for this. I believe the actual main stage venue can only seat around 800 people. But the actual convention centre itself can take 10,000, I believe. Do we assume that they're only going to give out 800 seated tickets? Or are they just going to cram it with everyone and people are going to have to stand at the back? I really don't know what the plan is here because they've given us no details about it.
No. It is the worst organised ticket sale I've ever seen. You don't really know what you're buying. You know you're buying a ticket to CitizenCon, but what does that include? I mean, I thought maybe what they were going to do is they were going to have some form of like a ticket for wanderers, so if you want to wander around, look at all the stuff, stand maybe at the back, and then maybe more expensive tickets for people who actually want to be seated in the auditorium, stuff like that. But there's none of that. It's just, who knows? I mean, what you were saying earlier about the size of the venues and that makes sense, because, and the other thing to bear in mind as well with Austin is America is massive. It's ridiculous how big that country is. And so if you've got people halfway across the country who want to go, they have to fly there. They have to do, it's like, could be like a 5-hour flight or something. Whereas in the UK, if someone's in Scotland and they want to come to Manchester for this, it's just like a 4-hour train journey, 5-hour train journey. So it's, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a lot more convenient. I don't think they're going to have problems selling tickets over here.
No, I'm fairly sure they're going to sell out wherever they put up. It's just, I've got a nasty feeling that by the end of it, there's going to be a lot of people that could go and want to go, but can't go because there's not enough tickets.
Yeah. And I promise you now, if I'm one of those people, I will, rage. There'll be rage. Cool. So next up, we've got a post from Lincoln Stern, and it says, comms are on by default. Please reconsider. So it says, please don't shove it down our throats. If somebody likes it, they are welcome to enable it. Don't force it on us. It's a bad experience, just in my humble opinion. And fair enough. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, Lincoln. If that's not what you want, fair enough. But this game is supposed to be a social game. This game is supposed to be a universe like the one we live in here. I do not get the option to turn my ears off when I don't want to hear people on a bus or a train. It's just not an option. So why would it be an option in Star Citizen? Unless those helmets are soundproofed, then I don't know, it seems weird to me. And how difficult is it to just turn it off?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to hear other people in the verse, then just turn the option off before you load into the PU. Problem solved.
It's going to be an option, apparently, just to turn it off. And I'm sure that, I know we've had problems with settings not persisting through, restarts and stuff, but, that's going to get fixed eventually, if it isn't fixed already. So, I don't really see the problem. It's almost like moaning about something that is massively easy fixed. You know what I mean? It's an on-off switch. Just turn it off.
Yeah, done. Exactly.
What made me laugh? Shall I say laugh or shall I say rant? Rant long and hard.
Rant a little bit.
Yeah. Was the comments in this one, and I never read the comments, but Tywin, I'm reading your comments, my friend. My God, you're an angry man, and it makes me sad, and this is why I don't read comments in Spectrum. People are basically just saying, just turn it off the first time you log in, and you're done. And he's saying, as long as it can be in big letters, I'd be really angry if it's not retained. And they said, is it really a big deal if it doesn't retain? Yes, you're a prime example why I don't want to hear you or any of your ilk.
That's exactly what he sounds like as well.
Yeah, that is his voice. I imagine that when he types, it makes sounds like I very rarely say this, and I don't like to alienate people, but my good God, fuck off. You just don't need. I warn you now, guys, I'm on a hell of a lot of pain pills, so they're making me very honest. But you just don't need to come to Spectrum and moan at people for their opinions. And this isn't your opinion. You're saying you don't want to hear from these humans, and they're in the world. Get used to it. They're going to be there. If I want to walk up behind you and go, Tywin, 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 I'm going to do it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Okay, so next up we've got a post from Blood Dragon, and it says, this animation gives me anxiety. So this is a video. I'll link it as well, and I'll put it up on the screen. So this is a video that was in the Inside Star Citizen video this week, which basically shows an AI NPC bringing over a weapon and handing it to the player. Now this guy should, in theory, be well trained in handling firearms. but yet he points it at the dude's crotch. It's really bad. There's gun safety, and then there's what? Yeah. I mean, you'll see it actually when we're playing something like Rainbow Six or anything like that. You'll actually see it when I'm stacked up behind you. My gun will be pointed at the ground because I don't want to misfire and shoot you in the back of the head or something. So it's just mad. It's mad. I don't know. It's crazy. Would you be upset if this AI shot you in the balls?
No. Yeah, of course. There's a lot more sort of gun-minded people in the comments sort of pointing out basically every mistake that this guy made. I think it's just the classic issue of whoever did the mocap for the AI probably isn't too well versed in guns. I mean, some of the ones that people have written here, I wouldn't know because I don't own an armory myself. They're picking it out straight away. He should be better trained if he's selling guns or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's an armory. He should be well trained in gun safety. I mean, to list very quickly the things that he did wrong. The first one, this is from Obscure, and the first one is a little bit, I think, picking, but he shouldered the weapon, which is a bit aggressive, but that's not so bad. But it's loaded, apparently, and he points the firearm, as I pointed out, at the dude's balls. And then he places it down on a counter without clearing it. So, clearing, I'm assuming it has a chamber. I don't know. It might be a laser weapon. But yeah, clearing the chamber and making sure that gun is, safe to place down. It's silly little things, but I love the fact that we think of this game as so realistic that we are picking up on points like this and saying, come on, if you're going to go through all the trouble of having this mocap and stuff, do it properly.
Yeah, there is that argument. There's two sides, really, isn't there? There's... does it really matter that much? For some people, it is going to matter a lot, but for others, they're not going to care. But then the other side is, if, like you say, if you're going to mocap the animation of it, then do it properly.
Cool. So last up, we've got a post from Crimson 8, and it says, "Would like to have police as a profession in the PU." So obviously we have the AI police, or we will do very soon, and we've got bounty hunting, which is is kind of policing in a way, but it would be really cool as far as Crimson 8's concerned to have police surveillance as a profession, we've already kind of got ships that could be dedicated to that sort of thing, like the one of the Reliant variants has obviously the camera and all that stuff, so could be interesting. I mean, it reminds me of that Armour mod, I think it was that Altus Life or whatever it's called, where you could actually be a policeman, and people just used to abuse it, and people have said in the comments it would be a griefer's paradise. It would, and it happened in Altus Life. People just abused their policey powers, but could you see yourself donning a badge and going out fighting crime?
No, not really, no. Bounty hunting is probably as far as I'll go with it. Depends really how many people would actually want to be a beat cop. Investigation missions are already a thing. You don't have to be a cop to do those. You can just do the investigation missions and just try and consider yourself a good PI. But what else? What other gameplay would a real cop profession bring to the table? I'm not quite sure, apart from just driving around and pulling people over for going too fast in atmosphere or something.
That would be hilarious. Do you know how fast you were going?
Yeah.
You were going 120 meters per second in a 80 meter per second zone. It would be a bit, it would be a bit silly. I mean, I kind of like the idea of it, but I think that we kind of already have the fundamentals of being a police officer built into just the missions that, bounty hunters do, and that, like you said, it's more like a PI work, which kind of makes sense. And I mean, other than giving you some dusty uniform to put on and walk around ArtCorp just telling people off for loitering, there's really not much else you could do, I don't think. So,
not really, no. I can't think of much. Maybe some of the people in our comments can give some more ideas, but I'm struggling to think what more gameplay that profession would bring.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. We'll make that a challenge. Let us know if you can think of anything we haven't thought of that would make for that being actually a worthwhile profession, because I mean, it's a cool idea. I like, maybe have your own uniform and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I think it's been pointed out that it probably would have some grieving aspects to it if you give players more power than other players.
Yeah.
So and how would you choose who's a police officer? Do you have to go through like training and all that stuff? Interesting, but I think it's definitely something that would be cool. But I think that it's far out of the scope, I think, of the universe at the moment.
Yeah, I think just let the AIs do it, and then that frees us up to do more interesting things.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That's all the posts for this week. We hope you like them. We hope they've been informative or amusing. Apologies for my small rant. Can't help myself sometimes. But yeah, so don't forget to comment on this video and any video that's been out in the month of June for your chance to win the Tumbril bikes. You don't have long now. I will be counting up the results on Sunday, which will be tomorrow when you hear this video. So definitely get commenting. Any comments that actually come out on Sunday will not be counted. Yeah, definitely get commenting. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.